Okay, I'm Paul Murphy. All signs point to me. And I'm reading from my book, The Fabbles, Solo Years, Beatles parody. After about 25 of these introductions, I kind of lose the plot, so if you just come across this one for the first time. 26th of August 1971. Working at the studio on overdubbing for Blind Sam, Bongo accidentally locks himself in the toilet. His 8-hour sojourn and the convenience inconveniences the crew, who have to spend the rest of the day popping into the bushes and blaming on those darn rabbits. What's the problem, Bongo? Asks Wendy Parts, canteen manageress and, out of sudden necessity, Irish dancer. The door won't open. Have you tried the handle? Of course I have. Not stupid, you know. What happened? The toilet flushed. Not that handle. The door handle. I've tried that too. Did it work? Does it fucking look like it? Look. Look, we've got an emergency situation going on here. All the crew have been drinking coffee the whole day and Thames becoming frayed. Sphincters too. We've all been going in the bushes. Problem is the bushes are by the side of the road and there's been 5 pile-ups already. 6 if you count the motoring one. We're going to have to break the door down. I can't see the page anymore, man. I don't have to stand back and take cover. It's only a door. I know, I meant from the crew. Some of them had kidney bean soup for lunch. Eventually the door is forced open and a sheepish Bongo emerges. Imminent physical... Oh, I can't read the words anymore. Imminent physical assailment from the crew is averted when the quick-thinking beat counter explains, it's my new scripture, bogism. Bogism? Yes. To deflect from the inherent prejudice in society, I've locked myself in the bog. Total communication. Couldn't you just use the phone? That obviously is a Mickey take of Jim, John and Yoko's bagism. Bogism. Anyway. Oh, mamma mia. 28th of August. Jim's letter in response to George Smarty's interview in the previous week's Malady Maker is published in the current issue today. You're going to need to zip back and Google the other video clip if you want to find out what that is. Dear George Smarty, you are wrong about everything. Peas Please Me had nothing to do with peas. It was to do with peas. I just passed a gallstone and was glad to be able to take a whiz again with it standing on tiptoe and screaming. And we didn't throw Pete Worst out of the van window on the way home. We threw him out the back door, as we saw there's a big lorry right behind us. Rear guards, Jim, LP winner. I'd like cramp, please. That is actually a spoof of a genuine John Lennon letter there, but I'm not going to go into that. Elsewhere in the issue is part 2 of the interview with the aforementioned Jim Smarty. DW, Dick William, who is the interviewer. Jim recently said that he'd like to hear some of your music, George. What do you think when he says something like that? I've yet to hear a cover version of anything on Two Morons. How quickly did you realise that the Fabbles were a long-term proposition and not just a flash in the pan? Last Friday. Do you have any favourite Fabbles songs? Oh, lots. From Meat to Stew I liked. You have to remember, in the early 60s, not many people were writing about turning vegetarian. And I Want to Hold Your Hand was excellent. Based on something Mr. Nepotism said to Jim the first time he met him, I believe. Eleanor Pygmy was another great song of Paul's. He wanted a string quartet on it, so I booked a 48-piece orchestra, and by the time Paul had finished criticising them, there were 4 players left. What other songs? I was always happy with the way that Referendum 9 came out. I was trying to paint a sound collage of the Brexit Remain debacle. And Hey Nude was a masterpiece, another one of Paul's. Did you like any of Grunge's songs? Who's Grunge? The guitarist. Oh yes, I remember him. Quiet chap. Yes, he wrote some amazing songs. They're not recorded, of course. Paul and Jim would never allow that. But I got to hear them, so that's good. As with part 1, Jim gets steamed under the collar and writes an angry riposte, printed a few weeks later, as it took him that long to double-track his vowels in post-production. Okay, just a couple bit more. 4th of September. Paul and Lender's Uncle Norbert, Admiral Halsey, urinary tract infection specialist Edna Grimthrush, the Right Reverend Jeremiah Jimmy Riddle reaches #1 in the US today. I'm so glad to once again to be proved to be the cleverest fab of them all, Paul modestly tells the press. The next bit is too long, so I'm going to stop for a little bit here. Let me come towards the camera again. Here you go, that's the back cover of the book. There you go, camera 1. Well, camera 1, mind you, turning off your naughty camera. Camera 2, there you go.